Hello, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. Some big Manchester United transfer news for you this morning. It must be getting close to Christmas, or more importantly, it's getting closer to the January transfer window, which many of us feel is massively important for Manchester United, and this signing of Erling HAALAND would be majorly significant. So where's it coming from? First of all, we'll talk about who he is, what it means for United, a lot more, but where is this coming from and why is it such credible and exciting news for United this morning? Well, a lot of things went on last night. First of all, there was a tweet that went out from @AriLasos, who is a Norwegian journalist, saying that Manchester United have flown over to Salzburg and met with Erling Haaland's entourage, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was part of that party that met with them. Very significant, but then you'd say, well, Norwegian, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is there a link there? Some people saying they're very credible. For me, the stamp of credibility with that is that Simon Peach, who is a British journalist for the Press Association, he's been on the channel, it's considered to be tier 1, he retweeted that story. So to me, that's a verification of that story from Simon Peach, that Manchester United yesterday meeting with Erling Haaland's entourage to discuss a transfer for Erling Haaland to Manchester United in January. Now, we already know, because Salzburg have admitted, that this similar discussion has happened with Erling Haaland and Borussia Dortmund. So there is, it's not... I think Manchester United are in pole position. I think Manchester United are in pole position for this deal, and I think that is exciting. We must consider Dortmund. I think there is a big, and maybe another club will come involved, but let's pretend it's Dortmund and Manchester United. Very clear, credible signs that both clubs have spoken to maybe Haaland himself, but certainly RB Salzburg about a deal. What's better for Haaland? I think Manchester United. I think he is perfect for what we need, which I'll discuss in a minute. But if you look at his career, and I've even heard his dad say this, they're looking at building his career up. And he's what, 19, 18, 19? He's doing very well. He scored in the Champions League. He scored goals for Mulder. He scored for Salzburg as well. Dortmund's next. Then maybe the Premier League or La Liga makes sense. Dortmund have got a very good record of nurturing young talent. They have. It's a fact. United, we've got a very good record of playing youth players. Nurturing young talents... We're good. We're not as good as Dortmund, but Manchester United's Manchester United. I think it's very significant that Manchester United get this deal done. Not because, we want him for the future, but we want him for the now. We do need Erling Haaland. Now, for me, as well, just to give you a little bit more excitement on this, there is somebody that was very credible the summer before last on Reddit. He came onto Twitter last summer. His name is @u_xsimon. He messaged me last night with pictures of the plane, of Ollie being on the plane to flying over to Salzburg, saying that this is looking highly likely. The Draughty Devil, who works for the United Stand, if you remember in the summer, he was the one who revealed that Wan-Bissaka was going to be signed at midday on the Saturday, and he put that out at about 9 o'clock in the morning. He's saying that his person has said that this is definitely a deal that United are looking to do and are very confident of doing. So everywhere you look, Erling Haaland to Manchester United is looking very, very, very credible indeed. It's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. I just want to play you something though before I give you my thoughts on Erling Haaland.
If Manchester City of last season played Arsenal's 2003-4 invincible squad, you lot get battered off the park.
City Centurions versus Arsenal Invincible. Link in the video description. Get involved in that debate. I have left a comment on that video that I think will make you all laugh this Saturday morning. But I'm interested to see what your thoughts are and who's the better of those teams. Links in the video description. Make sure you check it out for the comment. I'm not going to give you a spoiler alert. But who would win? City Centurions of last year or Arsenal's Invincibles? Who would be the better team? I think we all know that they'd be playing... they have to do that for second place, who's the best ever Premier League side. But check that out. Link in the video description. On to Erling Haaland then. I think it's going to be very interesting to see when this deal gets announced, because it feels to me like it's not going to happen in January. It feels it's going to happen before. We've seen with Liverpool going and getting their player and announcing it, in mid-December. So United have got that opportunity to do it, which I think is very important. We could have Haaland announced before January, which would be ridiculously efficient for Manchester United. So but it does go to show, doesn't it? We always get a bit frustrated at how quick teams like Liverpool get deals done. United just can't do that. The scrutiny of Manchester United, the leaks from United, like I say, I've heard this from 3 or 4 different people, and it's on, from credible people on Twitter and things like that. So you can't... United are micro-analysed, and it's very difficult for United to keep deals quiet, but it would be great for United to announce a deal early. Let's talk about Erling Haaland. I did a watch along on Mark Goldbridge, That's Football, in midweek against Liverpool. He played very, very badly. But I've seen him play probably 3 times this season. He didn't play very well against Liverpool, but what he did do against a very good Liverpool defence is have 2 decent chances. He is a player that has chances. Now, I've heard people saying he's a Poundland Lukaku. His first touch the other night was pretty poor, but what you've got to remember is that we're not buying a Marcus Rashford or a Dan James or an Anthony Martial. We're not buying a speed merchant with ability to take people on and get you on the edge of your seat. He's not that. The reason we've been linked to Mandzukic is because we need a plan B striker. We've got these quick strikers with skill who can score wonder goals. What we need is a box striker. We had it in Lukaku, but it just wasn't. It wasn't going to be working out with Lukaku. Lukaku was a poor footballer, intelligence-wise, just wasn't really there, and didn't want to be part of a rotational front line. He wanted to play week in, week out. Erling Haaland at 19 would be exactly what United need. And I've seen people saying as well, oh, what will that mean for Martial and Rashford? It won't mean anything, because we do need another striker. We need a striker that offers something different, and we need rotation in them front 3 positions. Erling Haaland would play most weeks, and so would Martial, and so would Rashford, and so would Dan James, because there's half an hour you can take somebody off for. There's 2 games a week where you can start one and have one on the bench and rotate people. I mean, look, you can't say on one hand Anthony Martial is injury prone and Marcus Rashford plays too many games, and then say I don't want a striker because, he's absolutely perfect for us. He's well over 6'3", so he gives us that option to put a decent ball into the box, which we can't unless it's a set piece, and we can't put a decent ball into the box. He's got a very good goal record, and I think the most important thing with Haaland is, he's not a speed merchant, but he's not slow either. And most important of all, he can only get better. He's building his career up from Norway to Austria. Next step, hopefully the Premier League. I wouldn't be, we're not signing prime Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We're not signing prime Ronaldo or Cavani. That's not what we're doing. We're buying a striker that has got a very big reputation, who can be one of the best strikers in the world over the next 5 to 10 years. And that is what United need to do. And also, one thing that's not been mentioned is the potential price of this. There is talk of a release clause around £20 million. £5 million more than we paid for Dan James for a striker that is exactly what we need. So I'm happy with Manchester United's links. I'm happy with United's efforts. It'd be massively disappointing if we don't get this deal done. We need to sign players in January. He's at a very, very good price. He's at exactly the right age. He's an exciting signing. For me, it's like Dan James all over again. And I would, if we get this deal over the line, I would go into this signing with that mentality. It's not like when we bought Anthony Martial for 50 million from Monaco. This is like signing Dan James from Swansea. Very, very exciting player, but coming from a level that's a little bit below the Premier League. It is got an element of risk, but the price and the profile of the player is exactly what we should be looking at. He's tall, he's got goals in him, he's young, he's hungry, he wants to better himself, he can get better. It's exactly what United are meant to be doing, and he would definitely give us a plan B, and he would definitely give us some depth. So I'm very, very excited by this deal. I think the sources are credible. I think the price is right, and it's going to be very interesting if Manchester United can get this deal over the line. Obviously, we must bear in mind someone like Mino Raiola, who is involved in Erling Haaland transfers in the background, and I think Mino Raiola would prefer for him to go to Dortmund for about 20 million, and then in 2 or 3 years go to United for about 100 million, because there's big signing on fees there. But if he comes to United straight away and we want to keep him for a decade, where are the big signing on fees for Mino Raiola? Would he be looking to push him off to Real Madrid or Barcelona in 3 years' time? So there are always concerns when Mino Raiola's involved, but ultimately, are we looking long term or are we looking short term? I think this is a short-term signing because it's got an element of risk, but it's got long-term benefits. But more importantly, as I said last night, Manchester United need to be signing players in January, because if we want to be getting into the top 4 and we want to add signings such as a Jadon Sancho in the summer or a James Maddison in the summer, then we need to add signings in January that give us the opportunity to get Champions League football, to bring those players in the summer. And he would give us some major depth in the final few months of the season, around those front three positions, and also more importantly give us a different option. We don't have this tall, relatively quick goal scoring striker that we can whip different types of balls into the box against teams that are sitting back against us, and I think that's very important. We wonder why we struggle against teams that sit back against us, because we haven't got that ball we could just dink into the box, and Martial and Rashford can't hold that up or win it, and Haaland would give us something different. So very exciting. Looks like it's definitely on. Not going to say it's definitely going to happen, because we've all had our fingers burnt on that. Percentage-wise, I'd say I'm 75%, and that's only because Dortmund are involved. And you know what? If he went to Dortmund, you could understand it for his development, but hopefully United have gone in aggressively enough. We're definitely in for him. There's a lot of credible sources about it. Smash a like on the video, get your comments in below. Exciting news for you, and I'm live again at 8 o'clock. And also make sure you check out the 888 Sport video, Centurions against the Invincible, who wins in that match, but also check out my comments. I think you're going to really like it on that video. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all soon.